And we're live. Welcome to Soul Days Live. I know it's been a minute. Sean Garvey here. Thank you so much for tuning in to Soul Days Live, where lovers meet in real time. All right. Thank you so much for joining in. As you can see at the bottom of your ticker there, we have all the information that you need to know during tonight's program. And we would love for you to make a contribution to the show. Donate, Cash App, $ Reach One Communications. You're going to see that posted on the screen throughout the duration of tonight's show. But if this is your first time, your very first time watching Soul Days Live, like I said, this is the show in where we have lovers meet or find their potential soulmate, if you will. All right. And as I was saying previously, we decided, me and Sadie, shout out to Sadie, our new host for Soul Days Live, we decided to go into a different direction with the show because, we've been doing this since 2023, right? Which wasn't that long ago, but we had some great memorable moments, some great memorable episodes between 2023 to our most recent. And so both me and Sadie wanted to move forward in highlighting couples that are in wonderful relationships. Now, of course, there are some ups and downs and in-betweens when it comes to working things out in a very, very serious relationship. And we like to bring on couples to talk about their journey from how they met to some of the obstacle courses that both parties went through and how they make it work in the crazy complicated times that we're living in right now, especially when it comes to the dating market. I've heard everything. I heard everything from, dating is dead, to I'm never going to find my true soulmate. Well, this is why you need to watch this program, Soul Days Live, all right? And here to join with me on tonight's Soul Days Live for the very first time, of course, we've had couples come on our show in the past, but for this particular couple right here, I wanted to bring them on because they have a story, a very powerful story. They are willing to share with not just only me, but to all of our listening audiences about how they make it work through the ups, through the downs, through the good times and the bad times, how they make it work. And I'm so glad and so pleased to have them on tonight's show. We have Duane and Amira joining us right here on Soul Days Live.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, it is going great. That's for you. That's for you. Let me make the a little bit louder there for you. We are doing great. We are doing fine. We're kind of, freestyling this, if you will. There's no script. There's no format to the show. This is just strictly freestyle. And I wanted to be that way too because I wanted it to be organic to our viewers and to our listeners. And Duane and I, we go a little bit way back to some of our earlier projects, including Unemployment Check and a few other projects. And we actually had some projects that we've done together behind the scenes. But we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about you and your lovely lady that's sitting next to you right there, Amira. Thank you all so much for coming on the show this evening. And of course, I'm here on behalf of Sadie, who could not make it to tonight's episode. But of course, she is watching this program wherever she's at right now. So big shout outs to Sadie. And we're going to also get into your new book that I want viewers and listeners to know more about that. But again, Duane and Amira, thank you so much for coming on Soul Days Live. So I want to get right into it because Duane and I, we work in the industry, not directly, but we work in the industry. We have done some projects behind the scene in the past, but we have taken on different projects, if you will, TV, film, you name it, podcast, if you will. And another thing that me and Duane got in common is that we have both done radio, not together, but we have done radio in different areas in our careers, right? And so we know that when it comes to working in the professional field, we we develop relationships, if you will, memorable relationships, some that benefit us and took us to the next level, right? And then there will be times where you can come across somebody in the world that you in the entertainment world, and it turns out to be more than just a working relationship. It can blossom into something a lot more, something, more romantic, if you will, and then it goes from there. Let's start off with Duane, and I want to start with you, Duane. Like, what was life like before you met Amira? What was life like for you as a guy, living the single life, or, in your past life of being in relationships with people and what have you? What was it like for you as a single guy in the beginning?
Oh, it's tough, like you said, being in the industry, we're always working all the time. You don't get a lot of time to meet people. Um, but Amira and I have a special story. We go back high school. We're talking high school time frame. So we were dating back when we were kids, and she was taken away from me, and we reconnected, and we're back together again. It's kind of a movie the way it was. But dating has always been tough for me because maybe I'm just my personality rubs some people wrong, or maybe I'm misunderstood. I don't know what it is, but it always starts off so great, and then it just doesn't work out. So I think maybe the whole thing led up to being able to meet this young lady right here. It didn't work because it wasn't supposed to, because I was supposed to be with her the whole time. So it sounds kind of cheesy, but it worked out that way for me.
Yeah, yeah. What about you, Amira? What was dating life like for you before you connected or reconnected with Duane?
Much like what he had said, it seemed like nothing really worked out. Nothing was really. I'm gonna put it to you blunt. I was never in love with anybody until I got back with him. So.
Hmm. Wow. Love, that is such a very, very powerful word. And people have their own different interpretations and definition of love and everything. But that's interesting that you just said it, that you was never in love until you met Duane. And why do you think that was? If you can just be a little bit more specific, if you will.
Well, you know how when you're in high school and you see you know, your first true love, or the first person that really like does something for you, makes your soul sing or whatever, you get twinkle toes or stars in your eyes or whatnot. That was him for me. And I just never could feel that same way about anyone after him.
She told me that I was a good kisser, Sean.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, it was about the kissing. It was all about the kissing. I was a really good kisser. So
that's very forthright.
yeah, she couldn't find somebody to kiss like I kiss. So
Well, he kind of taught me how. So it was like nobody could match that.
Ooh, wow. Okay.
yeah,
Wow. Okay, this is when the student becomes the teacher. Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah. Maybe our lips were just meant to be together. We fit perfectly together.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it all sounds hokey and cheesy, but it really is true. You get somebody that you can share your life with. You share everything perfectly. You kiss good. You listen to each other. Everything. I mean, we could, depending on how much of an adult show this is, we could get into everything. Is just fits perfectly. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I agree. I agree. Where did you? I'm gonna go over to Duane. I'm gonna stay with you, Duane. Where did she have you as? You know how when people would say you had me at hello, or you had me at I just want to take you out to get something to eat or what have you. Where did she have you as?
She had me when I was working radio, when I was young, and she called me from Israel, and I hadn't talked to her in a while, and she basically said, "I want to be with you," and she's in Israel, and I'm in the United States of America.
Mm,
And for someone to I mean, we hadn't talked in a year or something like that, but she still held on to me after that time. And
right.
she had me right then and there. I couldn't believe it. someone was still thinking of me and still holding on to me that strong after that time. You know what I mean? So ever since that time, I longed to get back with her.
Oh, what? Wait, so let me get this straight. Amira, the lady that you sitting next to, she called you all the way from Israel while you was working in radio.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and I hadn't talked to her in like 2 years, and it was just she basically was just letting me know that she had a lot of male interest in her, and she didn't want to succumb to another relationship if I would give her a chance. So the timing was just not right at that time, unfortunately. So, so we ended up not getting back together at that time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So for clarity purposes, because I'm trying to figure this all out. So when she called you from Israel while you was working in the radio, was this the first time you all talked? Was this your first interaction? Or can you elaborate a little bit more on that?
No, we had dated before that.
Uh-huh.
She lived in the same town as me, and she moved away. Her parents moved her away to Israel when we were still dating. And so we never really truly broke up. So my heart was crushed at that time because I didn't want her to leave. So, and she didn't want to leave either. So she didn't have no choice. So we just kind of went on with our lives at that point. But when she called me back about 2 years later, I knew that she still cared for me. She was still thinking about me. So that was pretty awesome.
This almost sounds a little bit like Sleepless in Seattle, a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is about, because I worked in radio before, and I remember, if I can just tell this quick story for 1 second. I remember I worked at a radio station. It was another radio station in Atlanta called WAEC Love 860 AM. Keyword Love 860 AM here in Atlanta. And I was doing someone's show on a Saturday morning as his producer at the time. And I get a phone call. It was somebody calling into the show, and she was just listening to the program. And all I remember was hearing her sultry voice over the phone, and how she just complimented on how the show was going and everything. And I said to myself, I gotta talk to this sister offline. Like, I don't know what it is about her voice, but her voice was just very catchy. It was very soulful. And then I got a chance, and this is true story, people. I had a chance to actually meet this listener in person, because I gave her my number offline, right? We were just only talking for like a few minutes because I had to get back to work. And I gave her my number offline. And a few days after that, I was pretty much thinking to myself, okay, this woman is not going to call me. This is just, what it is. And she ended up giving me a call. And I was like, I was surprised, because I didn't expect for her to call me. You just give somebody your number, hoping that they will call you. But in this moment, she did call me. And so, making a long story short, she called me. We talked for a little bit, and she actually came to the radio station in person to meet me and to be a guest on the show. And then that's when it blossomed into something more, to where we started hanging out. We started talking more and doing things together and stuff. So it's just amazing how you can either connect or reconnect with somebody through the airwaves. Isn't it very interesting?
Yeah, it was really cool and the time difference was probably how many hours difference is it?
About 10 hours.
10 hours difference. 8 hours difference.
Yeah.
So, I worked the midnight to 6 shift. I was the midnight guy. And so she's calling me. It was probably like 3 a.m. Over there, it was probably 11 o'clock in the morning. And so she's calling me out of the blue. And I'm just like, what? I couldn't believe it, because I had wondered what happened to her. She had never contacted me. And back then, we didn't have the internet. We didn't have, cell phones and things like that. So getting a hold of people was a lot harder. If you lost somebody, you lost somebody. It was really hard to find them again. So.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Wow. This is incredible. Duane and Amira right here on Soul Days Live with Sean Garvey. Okay, so here we are now, right? You all together, and I'm just looking at you while I'm talking to you, and Amira, she is just holding you tight, right? Like she doesn't want to like let you go. Is that one of your love languages? I'm just curious to know, Amira. Is that one of your love languages, like physical touch, or do you have a different kind of love language?
I have a few love languages, and touch is one of them, definitely. I am a very big person on energy, and I I feel like I can calm him, with my touch, and he's told me that. So, sometimes when we're in situations where one of us is kind of nervous, it helps us to touch each other.
Yeah, and I have social anxiety too. Believe it or not, being an actor, I get social anxiety. So she knows that. So she knows to hold on to me. She's kind of like my blanket right now, and I'm hers at the same time. So.
Oh, wow. I was, yeah. Because I know in times, especially in this business, the business that we all in, it can be a very stressful environment and a stressful profession, even though we love doing what we do. But it's nothing like having that plus one or that other person next to you, letting you know that everything is going to be okay.
Yeah, that's so true. It's nice to have her, like her touch just makes me feel comfortable. And so, yeah, it's great.
Yeah, yeah. Um, let's talk about something in regards to relationships because we were all taught about how we should court a person or how we should treat a person. And I want to stay with you, Amira. Like, what were things that were taught to you or instilled in you as a child or as a teenager on how you should enter into a relationship? What did that look like for you?
Well, coming from a divorced family, like my parents got divorced, I really didn't have the greatest role models when it came to relationships. So I really had to explore that on my own, and only recently in my, I would say, late 40s, I realized what I really wanted and what I really deserved in a relationship. So it takes time. It really does. You have to, dating is trial and error. You really have to, you know, taste the flavors. I hate to say that, but you really have to like know what you want, and the only way you're going to know what you want is if you try with someone. If you don't try, then you're not going to have a good foundation, you know, and know what you deserve as far as a relationship is concerned. If you hold yourself up and you're healed, then you know you deserve good.
She describes it as somewhat trial and error. What about you? What do you say? Do you echo the same thing Amira said, or do you have something different?
For me, it was more about finding someone that was a lot like my mother. My mother was a great lady, someone that was a very spiritual person. I wanted someone spiritual, someone that was loving, that was not afraid to show any kind of affection, physically or mentally. Someone that I could connect to, have fun with, on different levels, and dancing and singing, just having fun and not taking life so seriously. So I think the most important thing for me was just someone I could trust, somebody that, because I too come from a divorced family, so trust to me is really important. Someone that I know that won't stab me in the back, someone that's going to take care of me, no matter what. So through thick and thin, I can leave the house and know this person's got my back, and vice versa. So, and I've got that person. So.
We also come to a realization at this age is that if if we hurt each other, we're hurting ourselves. So when you get to that point in the relationship, you just don't want to hurt each other, and you want to be honest, and you want to be loyal because you wouldn't want that person to do that to you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's part of being a soulmate is we trust each other a lot. A lot of soul mates have to trust each other. So I give a lot of trust into her, and I trust her with my life.
Indeed, indeed. Um, like I said earlier, when it comes to relationships, and especially when you're dating, there's ups and downs. There's good days and bad days. Do you, both you, Duane and Amira, do you all want to describe what those moments were in your time together that were very pivotal in your relationship, whether they were good or whether they were bad? Do you care to share what some of those moments were, starting with you, Duane?
I am a combat veteran. I still deal with PTSD, being in that industry. Um, Not very many people can deal with those kind of people with PTSD and stuff. And we have people with PTSD. We have moments where we kind of go off the deep end a little bit. We get a little paranoid, or we get angry, or there's other avenues that people will do. For me, I get paranoid. I think everybody's coming after me, and I don't trust nobody. Um, when we were first in the relationship and we were starting to get to know each other, it was hard for me to trust anybody. Even this young lady here, I didn't, we were getting back together. I didn't know if I could trust her with my mental illness of PTSD and things like that. So whenever I would have a moment, a flashback or some kind of moment, I would keep it to myself. And eventually it would build up, and then I would push her away from it because I didn't want her to be involved in it, and it would just cause a rift between us because I was hiding something from her.
Mm.
And eventually, when I would share it with her, she was more healing, and I'm totally open with her about it because it's a healing moment. But when we were first starting to work out, it was just tough because I was holding it in too much. I didn't want her to be involved in my PTSD, but the healing is I need to share it with her so she can heal me also. We can heal each other. So I think that's a big one for me, was my PTSD.
So she provided a safe space for you, basically,
Yeah.
with the PTSD. Okay, Amira, let me turn over to you because many Americans face PTSD, especially people who have came out of the war, who came out of the services. And by the way, thank you for your service. By the way, Duane.
You're welcome.
So many people come out of that with the PTSD and with other mental illnesses and other things, mental conditions that they're going through after that. So, how much of that played a part in you while you providing a safe space for the love of your life, Duane?
Well, living in Israel, I also experienced my own PTSD. So I was there during the Gulf War. I carried a gas mask. I slept in bomb shelters. I lost friends at a very, like, they were very young, 18 years old. You go into the military there. And so I understand his flashbacks and I understand his paranoia and I understand all of that. And that's why I feel like I can be his rock and his stability, as I can hold him down so that he doesn't get super flighty or agitated or, exaggerating in certain situations. So I feel like my experience in the very same kinds of issues help a lot. And I've been able to ground myself. So, it's just, it takes a lot of work and we have to ground each other.
Absolutely, absolutely. Wow, that's incredible. Because there are times where we've seen couples over the years that have went through the dirt together, have went through the bad stuff together, and at times it just doesn't work out, or it just comes to a end to where both parties go their separate ways, and they tried their best, they tried their hardest to make it work. And so with the two of you, and by the way, thank you for your service as well, Amira. I want to make sure I don't forget that.
I
With
wasn't
the
in the military.
uh, well, thank you for both, because both of you all are very essential people that we need in today's society, and for just the sacrifices that you all have made. Um, like, what is your take on the generation now, or people that are giving up on relationships or giving up on marriages, they say that, oh, we got divorced because of irreconcilable differences, or it could be, oh, we just grew apart. What is your thought process, or what is your take on when you hear those things from couples and other couples that have called it quits because they just no longer happen to be on the same page together anymore? Starting with you, Amira.
I feel like people can grow apart, um, but there are couples that are meant to be together where they love and lift each other and each other's endeavors. First thing is first, you have to have self love. You have to love yourself to the point where you know what you deserve, the goals that you want to achieve, and that person loving you will help you achieve those goals and vice versa. So you have to see yourselves as a team, as one, not two separate entities. Maybe two separate entities out there, but when you're at home and you're working together, you need to be one.
Mm.
So, and that's
Yeah,
my
that's your 2 cents. What about you, Duane? What do you say?
I think relationships. The big thing with relationships, the way I take it from nowadays, the young folks, they need to go into the relationship thinking it's gonna last, instead of going into the relationship thinking, I hope it works. I hope this. It's no. They need to go into it thinking this is it. It's gonna work. It's gonna last. I'm not going into this half cocked. I'm going into this all the way. I'm gonna put my 110% into it. So I think it's a big one. I think people need to take it a little more seriously when they get involved in a relationship, as they have so many little relationships. When they finally decide to make the commitment, they have to go into it thinking, this is it. This is the last one. I'm not going anywhere any further. That's it. So, like this relationship I'm in right now, I'm not going anywhere. So we have arguments. We may not get along every single time, but I'm in it to win it. So no matter what.
To segue into that's a perfect segue. Because I follow both of you all on social media. We're all on social media all the time as people in the entertainment industry. And I remember seeing a post. I think it's the post that you made, Duane, on your social media page, and it came from a place where uh, there were things that were not working out between you and Amira. And so, can you take us to that time on what happened, and if you care to share,
Sure.
and what made you put out a post on Facebook?
I'm not sure which post it is, but I know which incident it is probably. So, I was going through. I actually had a moment where I was going through serious PTSD moments, and it just overwhelmed me, and I didn't want to get her involved. When I finally got her involved, I was upset at myself, really honestly, because I got her dragged into it, and I just pushed her away, and she pushed back, and I kept pushing away. She kept pulling me toward herself because she's not going to let me give up so easily. But I reached out. Do you remember what the post was? Because I think I know which incident it was. What was the post?
Yeah, I remember. We're gonna try to have our producer pull it up, but I just remember the day, and it wasn't even that long ago. I just remember that you came from a place where you felt you was heartbroken
Mm,
by what transpired at that moment, and you
okay.
felt in that moment you had put it out there, and I even had to DM you. I was like, hey, are you okay? Are you good? Like, what's going on? You need to talk.
Yeah, what happened was I went off. I just kind of went off the deep end when it came to my PTSD. I pushed everybody away, including Amira, and she left. She went to go stay with a friend, and I took it personally. Thought, oh, she's leaving me forever, type thing. But she just needed to get away from me, a little space away from me, so I could figure out what the heck I was doing. Um, then after that happened, I actually checked myself in to get checked, and I started taking medication because I was off medication there for a while, and now I'm kind of still struggling with that. Now it's an internal struggle going through PTSD and and medication and holding a relationship together without affecting the relationship, trying to stay well. It's really difficult.
And in dealing with his PTSD, I also stand on my boundaries where I will not put up with certain behaviors because I have to protect my own peace. So, and if I don't and I give in and I react and I engage, it just makes the situation worse.
Yeah. So she got herself away from me for a day or two, and I just kind of was very upset about it. So had me a little self-loathing after that, and started posting stuff, and came back and we worked it out, and everything's just back to, well, nothing's really back to normal again. Really, honestly, it's an eternal struggle every single day. So
Yeah.
but we're doing great. We're doing really good. But I think it's important for us to have those little moments
Yeah.
because it shows us how we react. Like I get to see how she reacts to me, and vice versa. Is this someone that I can be with for the rest of my life and react this certain way? Because not every day is going to be perfect.
And mine's not to react all the time. I really try to proact as opposed to react.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I saw, and you all probably saw this as well, but the video podcast, I forgot who it was hosted by, but I remember seeing basketball legend, I'm sorry, not basketball, baseball legend David Justice on a podcast. And he got a lot of flack for what he said about his ex-girlfriend back in the day, Halle Berry, and their infamous relationship at the time. And I remember going back to that podcast, David Justice said to the interviewer that if I had known about therapy, I think that me and Halle Berry would have made it. I'm just paraphrasing what he said, but he said it. I believe if we had therapy, if I had known about therapy, I think me and Halle Berry would have made it. Let's say what is your take on that as a couple? Do you think, or do you know if therapy is something that works wonders or can work wonders to keep a relationship stable, like the two of you? Like, what are your thoughts?
yeah, I've been through therapy before myself personally. We've never been through couples therapy, but I can tell you from experience that taking therapy it's definitely helping. It helps. It helps figure yourself out, and they do help with relationships. I think it's a great idea for anybody that is thinking about going into therapy. I would definitely recommend therapy. But just remember when you go into therapy that let your other half talk. Don't try to dominate the conversation.
Right. And therapy will help a couple that want help. It won't help a couple that the one person wants the help and the other person is a narcissist. So, it really does take two to fix anything. It can't just be one-sided.
Don't go into therapy because you want someone to tell your other half that you're great, that you're doing the right thing all the time. Go into therapy thinking, I'm fixing myself, and they're going to fix themselves. Because a lot of people go into therapy because they want to show that they're right. That's a bad way to go into therapy.
Yeah.
That's an interesting way to look at it. Yeah. I want to switch gears for one moment. Let's talk about the fun side of the relationship and the intimacy, if you will, of the relationship. And so, throw out some good moments, some good fun times that the two of you have shared during the course of your relationship. Like, give our listeners some examples.
So many. There's so many. My personal ones, we've been to a couple. We like to go to concerts together. We went to Austin and got to see Natalie Rize, Rize. You should look her up. She's amazing. And she's a really good friend of Amira's. And she got us backstage passes. And we went out there and I got to meet Natalie Rize. And I've been really getting into her music. It's amazing. Very peaceful, very healing music. So I would definitely recommend. But we get together and we do those kind of things. We're real fun to be around. We're that couple that's real fun to be around because we have a good time wherever we're at. So wouldn't you agree?
I think we're very entertaining.
We're very entertaining. We're both silly, and we're always thinking about weird stuff, and we just say funny things, and we would prefer to be happy over being sad. So if you go out to a concert or you go out to a club or something, you see us, we're fun to be around. So we're good times. But I think we flourish in things like that, environments like that.
Yeah. Who's the biggest prankster? If there ever been a moment in time. Oh, see, Amira's already pointing you.
It's probably me. Yeah,
So
I play jokes, man. I've always played jokes. You know, I used to have this life-size Michael Jordan cardboard cutout, and every single morning my father we would take a shower, and I would put that cardboard cutout right in front of the door. So every time he would open the door from the bathroom, he would scream. Like, I've always been that guy that's always like made practical jokes. So definitely me.
Amira would be like, "Oh my God, I can't stand it." What about you? Like, and give us some good times from your experience and from you being with Duane. Like, what are some fun experiences you ever had with Duane? Like, is there a moment, a favorable moment?
When we first got together, there were a lot of things we had to learn about each other, and just I don't know, to turn on for me when I see him that he's good at anything. So when we went to play pool the first time, and he was just like knocking the balls in, and then of course I'm pretty good too. So we shocked each other when it came to the pool. But and we need to go play pool more often. Karaoke. We love singing.
Yeah.
I kind of shocked him with the voice I've got. So.
Yeah, she sings really well. It's so funny because guys say, "Oh, my wife sings pretty good." No, she's singing like Aerosmith, like "Dream on, dream on," like she's going crazy. She's awesome. We're not boring, that's for sure.
All right. So, okay, our listeners, our viewers want to know, and without being too graphic and too detailed, viewers want to know what's the spiciness look like in your relationship? Like, how do you all keep things spicy? Keep things hot and heavy.
Lots of kissing, lots of heavy kissing. We're really good at kissing together. So we start kissing, they lead to other things. So I think being a good kisser and just kissing in general, if you're in a relationship and you're not kissing each other all the time, something's wrong. So, but yeah, we have good times behind the scenes. There's no complaints there.
I love it.
Yeah, we've never had that problem. In fact, if anything, that's been a big plus in our relationship. But I've even said before. Now, remember, this is not the only thing that's over our relationship, but because it's so good,
It is good. It's kind of like, when you're kind of making out with that first boyfriend or girlfriend from high school, or it's reliving high school for me every time we make out. It's keeping us young.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, we know each other's little spots. We know each other's, the neck and the, I won't get into details here, but get to know your other half's little spots.
I already knew from high school.
Oh, she already knows. See, it's that studying. It's the studying each other and knowing what their turn-ons are, what makes you tingle, this, that, and the other. Yeah, I love it. I'm here for it.
Yeah, you got to know where those tickly spots are at.
Oh yeah, too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we only have a few minutes left here on Soul Days Live, hanging out with my best buds, Duane and Amira, talking about their dating journey. I know that Amira has been very instrumental in your new book that we're now getting into for a couple of moments, Cop Inc. And so talk to us about the book and how instrumental Amira was a part of the process.
Yeah, I started writing this book about 5 years ago. And it was really hard for me to write these stories because, first of all, I had to think of the stories. And then, second of all, I had to make them interesting. And so, her and we were talking, and we weren't even together. It's a long story, but we were talking still at that time. And she just used to motivate me. Keep writing. Come on, keep writing. You got this. And so I just kept writing my stories little at a time. And as it got more and more closer to 79 stories, I was able to knock them out due to her helping out big time, giving me the motivation that I needed and the encouragement to keep going. Because it's really hard to write a book because you want to stop. You get halfway through it and you're like, I don't want to write anymore. Why am I doing this?
Well, there was a point too that he would be on Google Docs and I'd be on with him, and as he's writing, I'd go back and I would like change spelling and stuff. So it really did keep him motivated to keep going. So
yeah, she helped me a lot with the stories, and she's very, very honest person. So if the story sucked, she would say, no, that's not good. That's not good. So
she would yeah.
Very, very bluntly honest, which helped the book be perfect. And so it is available on Amazon right now. You can search Duane Michaels, copying.
All right, available on Amazon, ladies and gentlemen. And I believe in teamwork, making the dream work. It takes teamwork. But what's even better is having somebody by your side to critique you, to also encourage you, and to add to what you already have. And that brings value. I love it.
Yeah. She was very instrumental in bringing a lot of the stories to life and getting rid of a lot of the stuff that shouldn't have gone in the book, because you're not always right. So it's good to have a second pair of eyes.
Sure. Yeah, I love it. Now back over to you guys. I'm a single guy. I'm still in the dating scene. The dating streets. It's a cesspool of complicated people. But what is life without complicated people, right? Because you learn so many different things from different people. But at the same time, it's not somewhere where I want to be long term. So I want you to tell the folks that are out there listening, because we have plenty of people, a lot of single men out here, a lot of single women out there. Well, no, you know what? Before I get into that, because I want to make sure that I pick your brain, both you, Duane, and Amira, for a little bit, because I came across this story, and I meant to have my producer cue it up for me, but I came across this story. I think it was from CNN, now that I think about it, because I look at CNN and ABC News. And now you already have news stories that are coming out about the crisis happening here in America, where men are lonely. There's a crisis going on right now where a lot of single men are not getting the kind of relationships that they want to get from their opposite sex or from other people. And men are just lonely, isolated, and there are even some men that are turning over to AI for some type of companionship, if you will. And I want to start with you, Duane, and switch over to Amira and get your thoughts on it. What is your take on what people consider as the loneliness epidemic here in America, where people seem to not want long-lasting relationships or don't want to be physically or have any type of involvement with the opposite sex or with another person due to this crisis? Let's say you, Duane.
I think it is a major problem. I think the major problem is there's too much out there. I think people are trying to get their careers going. There's so much pressure to be well known on Facebook and Twitter and TikTok, and people are taking activities and they're forgetting relationships. So they're working on their goals, and they're working on their careers, and they're working on all these things, but they're forgetting to get out there because they think they have enough time. I don't know what's going on with you, Sean, but you're a good-looking guy. You're the second best looking guy in this room. And I'm joking with you.
No,
You're a great looking guy. You got a great personality. You're very successful. So what is the problem? I think the problem is just maybe you're not putting yourself out there. Maybe you're working too hard, because you work a lot. I see you doing a lot of stuff. So
yeah.
maybe take some time, and little, I don't know if it's a vacation or whatever, but take a little time and put yourself out there a little bit more. So I think people aren't putting themselves out there a little enough. People are too worried about their careers, too worried about other things and not relationships, and then it becomes too late after that. So.
Well, it's funny you said that, and see, this is why Soul Dates Live is designed, because this is for people that don't put themselves out there that much, and this is kind of like an alternative way for people to meet other people that they never seen in their entire life and want to get to know and see if something could happen from it. And I'll tell you, and I've said this on plenty platforms, including on my own radio show, I have tried everything from the dating apps to other dating shows before Soul Dates Live. Everybody knows that I was on Kendra G's show a couple of years ago. I was on all these dating shows, and I even went to different events. And this is all, like I say, about a year or two after the pandemic, because the pandemic year was the year where I had my heart broken and I had just came out of a relationship in 2020. And so from the later part of 2020 all the way up to present recently, I look back and I'm like, wow, I tried every single thing to find my soulmate, including being on this show. If you all go to my archive episodes on YouTube, Reach One Network, and see some of the episodes that I have done over the past couple of years with Soul Dates Live, I had put myself out there a few times and it just never materialized. So I say, for a platform like this, and that's why we encourage people to sign up and be a part of the show, is because, and that's great advice that you gave, by the way, too. I don't want to take anything away from that.
Yeah.
But for this particular platform, it's for those people who have tried everything. They've tried everything and it didn't work. And it's like, okay, if you're open-minded to be on a platform like this and meet other people that are looking for meaningful relationships, well, this may be something you may want to look into. Soul Dates Live.
Well, maybe it could be, I don't know what your preferences are, but maybe rethink, am I being too picky? Am I expecting too much? I mean, some people maybe have a picture of somebody that's not possible. They're so picky, and then what happens is you start scrambling at the end, and you just have to grab a relationship if that's what you want. But you got time. You're still pretty young. I think one day you're gonna meet the perfect person.
I'm not young. I'm 89 years old, y'all. I'm not young. I'm 89. I just drink a particular type of water that keeps me looking young like this. So
keep doing it, and then send me the secret, because I want some of that too. So.
I got you offline. Okay. So really quick, Duane and Amira, great information, great story that you shared. Where are you all at right now in your relationship?
We are building a long-term relationship through trust, and right now she's got a strong career. I'm working on mine. We're building each other up in these careers. She is bringing in more money. So as you know, when you're in this business, it fluctuates so much. So right now in our relationship is the building relationship, the building part. We're just trying to build a foundation for the future so we can have a bigger house and more room for our grandkids and our families and things like that.
We're in the manifesting stage right now.
Manifesting.
Yeah, we're building it. We're building the foundation right now. The foundation part is the most important right now. So
that's very important. Okay, great. And one last thing I want y'all two to do. I want y'all two to look at each other, right? And let's start with you, Duane. Like, what do you want to tell Amira right now? I mean, you all have conversations all the time, obviously, as a couple, but being on this show and talking to our viewers and talking to me and talking to us and detailing your journey together, what do you want to tell Amira?
Thank you so much for helping me in my journey and helping me find myself, and for showing me how to love myself, which is something that I still struggle with, but you're pushing me in the right direction. I appreciate that. And thank you so much for being in my life and for understanding me, and being honest with me. When I'm wrong, you tell me I'm wrong. You don't, just let me get away with things.
No, I don't.
So thank you for that too. Appreciate it.
Oh, we got to give a hand clap. Can we get our producer to do a hand clap for that, please? Can we do that? Like, there we go. I love it. Wait a minute. We got to give Amira an opportunity to respond or to say something to Duane. Like, Amira, what do you want to tell Duane at this point?
Oh my goodness. Well, he knows I've dreamed about him since I was 16, and I held on to it all these years. And I'm just happy that he's here to be my protector and the love of the rest of my life. I'm happy that we're going to be able to build together and grow together.
Yep.
And I just am madly in love with you.
Oh, wow. Now, let me tell y'all something. We have had couples come on the show kiss before. I ain't never seen a kiss like that. Listen, hey, Duane and Amira, it has just been such a joy. It has been, and see, we have Amira cry. Now, that's you. That's all you, Duane. You made Amira cry, but in a good way, in such a great way. And it shows people and shows couples and even show single people like myself that not only that there's still hope, but we also have to realize that dating and being in relationships is more than just one thing. It's more than just sex. It's more than just being with somebody, but it's also about building with that person to create or to help create a generation, to create other generations, and to leave a legacy for other generations ahead. And it's also a part of community. Without a couple, there's no community.
Right.
That's right.
That's an unpopular opinion by yours truly, Sean Garvey. But we really really appreciate it. Thank you so much, Duane and Amira. And again, Top Ink is available right now. I'm going to pull it up on my screen here. It's available right now on Amazon. Just search for Duane Michaels and get your copy. Pre-order or order your copy right now so you can support Duane and Amira. Thank you all so much. Any last words, any last remarks before we let you all go?
No, I just want to say thank you for having us on the show. It's always a blessing to be able to share our relationship with other people. And I'm going to be praying for you to find the love of your life.
Absolutely. And Amira, last remarks from you?
Well, the whole idea of this coming together is to be inspiration for couples out there that you can find love later on in life, and it can be true love, and you just have to get past all of the crap that you've been through and let go of stuff, So too many people carry things into their next relationships. You have to be able just to let it go. This is not your ex.
Yeah, and just be honest. The most important thing is just be honest with each other. Be honest with each other. Don't hide nothing. And if the love is true, even if you're honest, your worst days, they'll still love you.
Absolutely. Well, hey, look, we need to bring you back on next Soul Days Live. Like I said earlier, we're going into a different direction, but every now and then we will bring on a single person looking for their next soul date. And we might have to bring you back on in the near future just so you can give some insight, some advice to that single person that is looking to, be with somebody and for the others to shoot their shot. But I'll let you know and all the details.
That sounds good, man. I appreciate it. Thank you for having us on.
You're welcome. Thank you so much. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Duane and Amira, right here on Soul Days Live with your host, Sean Garvey. Sadie will be back on the next episode. But until then, make sure you like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel on YouTube. Follow us on the network. And also Honey TV. Make sure you download the app. On the Roku Television Network. We're all over the place, ladies and gentlemen, in cyberspace. So make sure you download the app, the Honey app, and the Flow Television app so you can watch shows like this. All right. Sean Garvey, follow me, Sean Garvey ATL on all social media. Sean Garvey on Facebook, Instagram, and Honey Movie and TV or the Honey Movie app. Just look us up. Google will be your best friend. All right. Until then, you all take care, and I'll see you all on the next Soul Days Live. Take care, everybody. Get out of here. Get us all on producer.